Once upon a time, the royal family was untouchable. Now, it's unfollowed, unfunded, and on thin ice. Prince Philip once warned, "It's not the haters who'll destroy the monarchy, it's the superfans." Guess what, loves? He was right, because the palace's loudest defenders have turned into its grim reapers. They've mistaken obsession for loyalty and strangled the crown with their own pearls. This isn't a fairy tale anymore. This is House of Windsor, the final season. And Gen Z just pressed delete. Let's keep it 100. The monarchy isn't dying from irrelevance. It's dying from moral bankruptcy. The Independent spoke to young Britons, and the verdict is brutal. Maisie, 18, said it best. They know their back is against the wall, because everyone knows about Epstein and Andrew. Boom. One sentence, and the royal facade cracked. They didn't strip Andrew of his titles because of ethics. They did it because the internet found receipts, because the world finally saw the rot behind the gold gates. They weren't protecting victims. They were protecting the brand, the glossy illusion of purity they sell, while reality leaks from every window of Buckingham Palace. Now here's where it gets offensive. The palace PR machine actually tried to equate Andrew and Fergie's Epstein mess with Harry and Meghan's freedom. Let that sink in. They compared a man who partied with a convicted predator to a couple who talked about healing, love, and building a life of their own. And then came Henry, 20, the quote that belongs on Buckingham's gates. Andrew hung out with a paedophile and his wife took money from Epstein. That is not the same as talking about your chakras or cooking fruit on Netflix. Say it again for the crowns in the cheap seats. The Sussexes chose self-respect. Andrew chose Epstein. Yet somehow both are embarrassments? Nah, that's not morality. That's manipulation in a tiara. Public trust demands accountability, but recent royal scandals have shattered the monarchy's image. Prince Andrew's association with Jeffrey Epstein exposed a catastrophic failure of responsibility. The palace's denial and disastrous interviews only deepened public disillusionment. A multi-million-pound settlement looked like hush money, not exoneration. Harry and Meghan's departure and revelations of mental health struggles and alleged racism revealed a family in crisis. These are not PR hiccups. They're fundamental crises of character and purpose. The gap between public image and private reality is now impossible to ignore. The monarchy appears slow to act, resistant to change, and unable to face its own flaws. These scandals are symptoms of a deeper malaise. The Crown's credibility is on the line. Gen Z, raised in a digital world, values authenticity and justice over tradition. To them, the monarchy is less a symbol of unity and more an emblem of inherited privilege. Carefully managed PR and dignified silence are seen as evasive, not noble. Gen Z spots performative gestures instantly, contrasting royal wealth with their own struggles. They use social media to dissect news, remix scandals, and expose contradictions. The palace no longer controls the narrative. The digital crowd does. Polls show a stark generational divide. Most young people don't support the monarchy, and many want an elected head of state. Their skepticism is a reality check the monarchy can't ignore. As one young person put it, why respect an institution that wouldn't exist if it had to apply for its own job? The monarchy's future depends on winning over a generation deeply skeptical of its right to exist. The old playbook no longer works. The verdict is clear. and it's not in the monarchy's favour. Change is no longer optional. In response to growing scepticism, royal superfans have built a digital echo chamber. Here, criticism is treason, and dissenters are cast out. Complex issues are reduced to binaries: loyalist or traitor. This insular world insulates the monarchy from reality, making reform impossible. Young critics are met with hostility, not dialogue, confirming their worst suspicions. The monarchy appears as a private club for the old and intolerant. Superfans, thinking they're shields, become toxic barriers. Every hostile comment alienates the very people the monarchy needs. They win battles in their echo chamber, but lose the war for the next generation. Their fierce loyalty is accelerating the decline they fear. Gen Z has a sharp eye for hypocrisy, and the monarchy is a kingdom of contradictions. It preaches service, yet thrives on unearned privilege. It claims unity, but its history is colonial and its present divided. It enjoys public funding, yet operates in secrecy. Technology exposes these contradictions instantly, juxtaposing royal luxury with public hardship. The monarchy stands as the antithesis of meritocracy, a system based on birth, not ability. This fundamental unfairness is harder to justify in a society that claims to value equality. The palace's attempts to modernize often backfire, providing more material for scrutiny. Every post is a potential exhibit in the case against them. The contradictions are now broadcast for all to see. The digital generation isn't malicious, they're bewildered. The kingdom of contradictions is on trial, and its subjects are the judges. The Windsor illusion is crumbling. The old magic no longer works. The monarchy stands at a crossroads: cling to the past or embrace painful honesty. Blind loyalty is poison. It silences the critical friends needed for growth. Defending the indefensible only taints the institution. Real change requires listening, acknowledging mistakes, and embracing transparency. The monarchy must ask, why do we exist? Who do we serve? What values do we represent now? Hope remains, but only if the crown becomes smaller, more accountable, and in tune with modern values. Renewal won't come from furious defense, but from honest reform. Respect must be earned, not inherited. The monarchy won't fall because of revolution. It'll collapse under the weight of its own contradictions. Gen Z isn't torching tradition. They're refusing to worship rot. They're saying loud and clear, if the truth offends you, maybe it's time to change the story. So when you hear royal loyalists crying, "Respect the crown," just remember, you can't save an empire by pretending it isn't crumbling. They thought they were defending the throne. Turns out, they were digging its grave. And this time, my darlings, there's no royal rescue coming. If you felt that, hit subscribe, loves, because we don't whisper the truth here. We crown it.